6 is falling down because 500's going to net. So, my ass can only take so much.
You're
up that ass. Come on. Cock work.
up.
Yeah.
Kicking.
All right, let's get that ass. Can only take so much.
Fit.
Come on. Cock work. The Eagles are trying to. Did I just say what I think I pause? No, did.
Vikings, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, both back. Meanwhile, second quarter, both offenses started hot. And RC, how about a little Houdini from Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford, who says you can't move the high step to get out of the pocket, throws the ball in the end zone, touchdown, Cooper Kupp.
That's a spectacular play by, you're right, usually not known as the most mobile of quarterbacks. This one tied at 14 at halftime. Third quarter still tied after we see another spectacular look there. There's a first down for Darnold and Justin Jefferson. He had himself another big night. What a catch.
Listen,
here.
Justin Jefferson, one of the best in the game. The concentration, he gets 3 feet down before he goes out of bounds. I've been seeing this dude do this since high school, still improving.
It's amazing. He got 3 feet down, and he only has 2 feet. Vikings end up with a field goal, take a 17-14 lead. And we mentioned, it's not just Kupp who was back, but Puka Nacua had a night.
Listen, Puka Nacua, his cousin works here for Get Up. His name is Big Miguel. He gets inside, plays inside the numbers, gives Matthew.
I got too far deep in that. Oh. Did I put up the... I'm sorry, guys. I got the wrong clip started.
In the Cowboys offense this year, he has
There we
back-to-back
go.
game with multiple picks. He's never done that in 3 straight games in his entire career. His completion percentage, 63%, his lowest since his second year of the league. Last year, he completed just under 70% of his throws. His total QBR this year, 48.9. That would be the lowest mark for a season in his career. He's currently 23rd among 31 qualified quarterbacks in that stat. Here's Dak with a self-assessment headed to San Francisco.
I'd say I've played average, and average isn't good enough right now.
It's not.
By any means. I mean, it's never been good enough for me, so I can't say that I've been happy or excited after any of these games that I've played. I can just play better, for sure, and expect to, preparing to.
All right,
So
so
here we
this
go.
has been, to top it all off, RC, his house of horrors, right? I mean, Dak against what we have seen from the 49ers against the Cowboys the last few years has been very painful for those who like the Dallas Cowboys. Can he turn that around this Sunday night? Can Dak be the reason the Cowboys pull off a win that would surprise a lot of people?
No, Dak absolutely can. We've seen Dak Prescott play at an MVP level, and I love the sense of accountability that he has and the way that he's played this season, but he's wrong. He's played below average. Right? Because your average doesn't get to be the average of the rest of the players in the league. Your average is the average that's taken from a quarterback who's the highest paid player that's ever touched an NFL field. And outside of maybe the Cleveland Browns game earlier on in the season and also the Pittsburgh Steelers game where I felt Dak was at his best, he's been below the line for his play. He's in some senses been the reason that this offense hasn't moved the ball. And Dak Prescott can't be that.
He's the reason?
A few Fridays ago on this show, if they want to win games, Dak Prescott has to play at an MVP level. He hasn't been close to that, and I believe that this team feels it. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys as a whole, we knew that this roster wasn't up to snuff to compete in the NFC, but what we've seen from this team has been flat out embarrassing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we can talk about Dak all we want, but Teddy, the reality is it has been the defense. In their 3 losses this year, they're giving up well over 200 yards rushing per game, and now they're going in there. I know Christian McCaffrey isn't playing, but this is sort of where it all begins, right? The San Francisco offense was the first of these great running offenses. Is there any reason to believe the 49ers are not going to shred the Cowboys on the ground?
No, I think Kyle Shanahan has a lot of common sense in it. I mean, besides just looking at the tape and looking what they've done in previous matchups, this is going to be Mason, this is going to be Garendo, this is going to be 30 to 40 times, and if they can't stop it, that's all they're going to do because Kyle knows the situation of his team. All right, they're beat up. A lot of their stars are out. They're going in, they win this one, they hit the bye week and heal up, and then it's ready for this second push. That's what it's going to be. He's going to try and get this win as simply as possible, run the football, play action pass, easy for Purdy, nothing complex, and get out of there. Because Dallas, it's about who is suiting up on defense. Is Bland, is Kendricks, is Parsons, who's not going to be there? I mean, it's just, and they're coming off a bye, and they're supposed to be rested up, but still, they're missing a lot of key players. So it's common sense formula for Kyle Shanahan in running this football, Greeny.
Yeah, Micah Parsons hasn't practiced this week. Deron Bland hasn't practiced this week. They could practice today and play, but also maybe not. And even if they do,
I'm going to stop it there. Hello, good people and Eagle and 49er fans. Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know, shout out to Lady Libra, double dipping on both channels, okay? Isaac Ramirez over there. There's Gina, the diva that Dallas is. Just had a birthday, so I believe she's, 23, 24 years old, Gina? Yeah, because you don't look a day over 23, 24. Gina in the house, of course. Lady Libra in the house. What's up, Lady Libra? Double dipping on both channels. And, of course, there's Stacy Schubert, Roland's Review. What's up? Big Ray's in the house. And let's see, Chris Mays in the house. What do you expect with one wide receiver and no pass blocking? Derek Young in the house. Hawks fan, hope you Cowboys win. Oh, I know you're hoping we win. And everybody, welcome on this Friday night. You know, it's a damn shame that the Cowboys paid Dak Prescott and he's not doing shit. You know, you literally hear that when you are the highest paid player ever in the history of football, you're expected to do everything. You're expected to block. Okay, you're expected to block. You're expected to throw the football. You're expected to run the football. And damn it, you're supposed to catch the football too, right? And you got to block out the sun. It's kind of crazy that nobody talks about Trevor Lawrence and that shit that's going on down there in Jacksonville, who's the second highest paid. It's funny that ain't nobody talking about Tua, who's been knocked silly again and ain't even been out on the field this year because he's one of the highest paid. Joe Burrow, hopefully Joe Burrow, we have return of the Mac this weekend, and he lights up the Philadelphia Eagles, who are a 2.5-point underdog, going to Cincinnati, where it's going to be a whiteout. That's right. It's going to be Cincinnati in the white uniforms. It will be the white Bengal Tigers going against the Philadelphia Eagles, that team that's full of themselves. Now, you know what's funny? I have been wondering, I've been trying to, Kate in the house, you expect to put points on the board. You know what, Kate? I agree with you. You're expected to put points on the board, but you're also expected not to be running for your life every single play. You're also expected for your running backs to run more than 77 yards per game. You know, it's kind of funny that, we'll say Lamar Jackson, he's the best quarterback in football and stuff. Yet that team is averaging 210 yards on the ground. 210 yards on the ground every week. Every week. The Cowboys, the league low by 5 yards a game. And the Cowboys, the offensive line, they've given up more pressures than anybody else in the NFL. So you are literally asking the quarterback to do all of the above. He's got to run for his life. He's got to be able to hit that one receiver. Oh, and did I remind you that the Dallas Cowboys are dead last in separation? That people are literally calling out the play calling. And so on. But again, it's just Dak. If we could just go ahead and get ourselves a quarterback, we'd be fine with the defense that's giving up more points and more yards on the ground than anywhere on the NFL. It's all good. Just blame the quarterback. Just get rid of that guy. That's all it is. Royal, what's going on? Jeff Lee in the house looking for some boobies. Let's see. This is true as well. Reaper in the house. Jeff Lee. Thomas Garrett. What's up, Thomas? And that dude, but you said Jalen T was he's working on it. He's still a young guy. He is a number 2 receiver at the moment, but is he a great number 2 wide receiver? I mean, you can look at it and say, in comparison to what San Francisco had before Ayuk tore his ACL, that they had Deebo Samuels and Ayuk as their number 2. Yeah, I don't think that's apples to oranges. I mean, apples to apples. I just don't see that. We have yet to say that Jalen Tolbert. In fact, hold on. Wait, let me go here. Let's do it this way, because I'm getting beat down. Jalen Tolbert. Stats. Let's look at his stats here. And you tell me if you're ready to say that he is a legitimate number 2 who has arrived, okay? So Jalen Tolbert, per the boys at Pro Football Reference, okay? In his career thus far, okay? Very young career. This is year number 3. His grand total for this year is 290 yards on 34 targets, 24 receptions, and has 2 TDs. So for his career, he has 570 yards and 4 TDs. Are you ready to say that and 54% completion percentage? Are you ready to say that he's one of the top flight wide receivers in the NFL? And that you're ready to win Super Bowl with that much experience? Because that is right now on the roster your second most experienced guy. You got CeeDee Lamb, who is a bit of a head case as your number 1. You got Jalen Tolbert as your number 2. So are you ready to say that, there you go? And, of course, we're still waiting for Ryan Fauntleroy. You know that Ryan Fauntleroy. I can't wait to see him get his first catch because he got some Dez Bryant. Are you ready to say that he's, with this one catch and fumble, that he's ready to be a legitimate, Super Bowl caliber wide receiver? I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend because see that's exactly what we're working with right now. While other teams with Aaron Rodgers, because we don't look at we don't look at Aaron Rodgers and say they traded for Aaron Rodgers and paying him $50 million a year, and we got weapons galore that we decided let's go out and get Devontae Adams and add to the mix because I believe the Jets have less swing than the Cowboys right now, don't they, with Aaron Rodgers? I'm asking for a friend. I believe that Jacksonville, who just played the Prince down there, I believe they got less wins than the Cowboys too right now, right? So, but I don't hear anybody saying that about him, right? Josh Allen, I believe that they said, let's go out and get themselves another experienced receiver in Amari Cooper, right? So the Cowboys are the anti-everything that works guys. And we're supposed to say, yeah. While everybody is out there saying, let's get a running game going. We see what Derrick Henry is doing over there, right? We're seeing what Saquon's doing right there. Oh, the Cowboys, they don't need no running back. So we got Dak Prescott. We got Dak, And see, look, and Dak, he's just playing average. He's just playing average with the worst running game, the worst, amount of pressures given up, and the worst separation. But that guy's average. If I look at everything else of the Dallas Cowboys, at the moment, he's the best thing going at average. Because the running game is subpar. You got to say is an F since it's last. The separation is last. You got to say that's an F, right? Right? Average. Who out there do you look at as saying is playing better than average on the Cowboys right now? I'll wait. Are we saying the front office is playing above average? Is the front office playing above average? Jerry Jones and crew? Who? Aubrey. Okay, Brent, there it is. The kicker. Okay, there you go. The kicker. Right, there you go. I hate it. As pathetic as it sounds, average. I wish we had an average running game because that means it would be about 15th. Right? If our running game was average, we would be in the middle of the pack, 15, 16. If our wide receivers were average, in separation, we'd be somewhere, 15 or 16, not 32nd. If our run stopping was average, we'd be somewhere around 15 and 16 instead of, say, 32nd. So, yeah, average right now for the Cowboys sounds pretty good. Be that as it may, you notice how it's been kind of quiet in here with 49er fans. I did actually see one yesterday who said, "Are you ready?" He didn't talk any smack. He just said, "Are you ready?" And shout out to him for showing up. But the usual ones that email me, I've been waiting. I'm not going to give you the name, but see, I have to read this. Oh, I love this. I love this because Joey Bosa was talking about, playing the Cowboys, and he said, yeah, it's good for us to get back to playing the Cowboys because, we beat them all the time. And so the title of my video was, I inferred, okay? I inferred and kind of said, basically, reading between the lines, okay? Reading between the lines. The Cowboys are a slump buster. If you say, yeah, it's good to play the Cowboys because we always beat them, isn't that like saying they're a slump buster and this is a good way for us to get back healthy? Because we own them, right? Oh, boy. And so did I really piss one off? Oh, I just, 40 wide is a wide like a motherfucker. So literally the title that came across, "You piece of shit." I held my emails back because I knew you were trying to troll us 49er fans. He knew it. And I bet you he's watching right now. He's watching. I bet he say, "Can he say my name? Can he say my name?" Because you know how the 49ers bang bang gang is. Bang bang. Okay. However, when you're lying ass. Oh my God. Ooh, such harsh words. Lying ass gaslights Bosa. I'm firing off an email. Bang. Okay. You piece of shit liar. Bosa never said anything close to what you said in your video today. You're a lying clickbait piece of shit. Take a Jobu wing and stick it sideways in your candy ass. Ooh, I just want to know why is it 49ers always talking about putting something up your ass? I'm asking for a friend. I'm just no disrespect. I'm just asking why they always talking about putting stuff up the ass. I didn't say it. They said it. I mean, kind of like Philly 500.
It's just falling down because 500's going to net. So my ass can only take so much.
You're
up that ass.
come on.
Cock work.
Up
Yeah,
there. Kick it.
all right, let's get it. That ass can only take so much.
Fit.
Come on. Cock work. The Eagles are trying to. Did I just say what I think? Pause. No dick.
Oh, there's Lola in the house. Okay, and of course we have Kiwana Gibson. What's up? Okay, so and Alan Williams in the house. Okay, so actually a little note here too. Okay, Michael Anthony, Fitness Reaction, Gig Economy, postal extraordinaire guy. He's just really getting going on sending out the shot glasses. I said, Lola, make sure that he sends you not one but two of the Squeeze Stars, okay, and your shot glasses stuff. So those things are just beginning to go out right now, and some of the other stuff that's done. Bobby Beninsky, your fire the GM, it's just going out right now and stuff. Sorry, this has been a little behind on these things, but we're getting caught off. Curtis is in the house. What's happening? So 49er fans have been kind of quiet. Okay, but you can guarantee you if they get the win over the Cowboys, they'll be back in full force, okay? They're doing what cockroaches do, okay? They're laying low until the lights go off, and then they'll come back. Oh, I forgot to post. Oh, man, I tell you what. I forgot to post this because there was a conversation I had with Philly 500. he had, and I'll put it in the community tab later, but it was funny because, let me find it. He sent a clip for a video. He said, "Sorry, my bad. That was supposed to go to the message above." Oh, sorry, my bad. That was supposed to go to the message above you, to my real dad. So I was like, wait a minute. Wait. So you said that message is supposed to go to your real dad as opposed to your YouTube daddy? And it was like, I said, laugh out loud, son. I said, so you're admitting that I'm your dad? So yes, he knows. He knows I am his father. Be that as it may. News on the Cowboys. It was a pipe dream to get Micah Parsons and Deron Bland back this week. They did not practice all week. They were doing all rehab work on the bands and things. And hopefully, Lisa, what's up, Lisa? Hopefully, they will be back next week. We got Jeff Lee in the house. We got Kiana Gibson. We got Dusty Bosley and Devin Stevens, all on the other channel. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you hit the like button on whichever channel you're watching on. Chris May, if I said that to my dad, I'd get the belt. Okay. So the two of them have not practiced yet, and they are out. Definitely out for the game. The Cowboys might be cooking, though, this weekend. There's a chance that the Cowboys might start to cook. Mark, you are a classic. Appreciate that, Dustin. Dalvin Cook, it looks like he may be elevated. We'll find out for sure by game time by game time. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to see Dalvin Cook on the field, which is a good time to try and see this before the trade deadline to find out, can the boys still play? Or do we need to try and make a move? Eric Kendricks was limited in practice, but he is questionable, but should be playing. The thing with the Cowboys are, when they say you're doubtful, you ain't playing. You ain't playing. If you're questionable, usually you play. So he's questionable, as well as Ceylon Carson, but Carson has been practicing fully all week, so I expect him to play there. Thank you, Laugh Out Loud. My bad if it seems like I was spamming, Lola. Okay. Well, we actually haven't had that many people spamming other than, the Washington fan will be here, Big Spank Dog, because, he's feeling himself, literally. Get your hand out your pants, buddy. Big Spank Dog, get your hand out your pants. We know you're feeling yourself, that the Commanders are leading the division. I know you ain't been there before and you don't know how to act and all that, but just be cool. Just be cool, because it ain't going to last. For the 49ers, George Kittle, who's got a foot injury, limited in practice, is questionable. I expect him to play. I don't know if he'll wear a Fuck Dallas t-shirt underneath his jersey or not and show it to the world and get fined, but that's the kind of punk ass that he is. And Deebo Samuels, who was in the hospital, which some people are kind of questioning. They're kind of like, wait a minute, wait. They're like, wait. How come he played 3 plays, okay? He played 3 plays, and then they took him out, but they still counted him as playing in the game, so it messed up all kinds of betting. This is where the NFL people are kind of saying, It's like, are you sure this is not rigged? This is not fixed to make money? And I was reading an article about how, gambling is blowing up. And, we are, of course, sponsored by BetUS. And I say, make sure you bet responsibly when you bet. And I personally will say that I have had an incredible time being my dad's bookie. Okay, my dad called me first thing this morning because, unfortunately, with the NFL right now, where everybody's got a different app and it's driving me up the freaking wall, that I don't know. Is it Amazon Prime? Is it Paramount TV? Is it ESPN? Oh, now you got to watch the second ESPN game on the ESPN app, which is another $11.99. Or is it Netflix? Okay, it's like, good God. And if you're an older person that's on a fixed income, You can't afford all these apps. So the people that made you guys great, like my dad, who's been a football fan and a Cowboy fan since the 60s, they can't watch Thursday Night Football or sometimes Monday Night Football and things, right? So he went to bed last night. He gave me his bets. He took the Vikings minus the 3.5, but he took the over. So he broke even. But he called me first thing this morning and said, man, do I have any money left? I said, you basically had what you started with because you had one right and one wrong, and they canceled each other out. He said, well, I'm going to be working on my bets and stuff for Sunday. So he said, I'm going to sharpen my pencil and I'll get back to you on what I'm going to do. I said, you know what the best bet is? Don't bet on the Cowboys. But if you do decide to bet, make sure you use the use the promo code YouTube150 to get the 150% matching bet. Because that way, you're betting with house money. You're betting with house money. You're not losing your money. You're betting with house money. So go ahead and bet responsibly and use BetUS. North Jersey, Philly D. South Jersey should be 2 different states. That state's, it's not big enough to be a state by itself, man. Jersey's tiny. It's tiny, man. What you talking about? It ain't big enough. Jersey, little baby state, man. What you talking about? 2 different states. Come on, man. What you trying to be, Delaware? All right, so Debo coming out of the hospital with pneumonia was limited in practice, and he's questionable. I expect him to play because, he'd have made a promise to make up for Ayuk being injured. They're still beat up, but they can run the football, so expect them to truly run the football. I have an interesting theory, and hang on one second. I got to say something to I had a pan of lasagna that they were, made it, it was frozen, and they put it in, and what happens is they literally, I put some garlic bread in yesterday and said, take the garlic bread out. I'm up here, and I was like, did they not take out the garlic bread? Because I smelled something burning. Came downstairs, it was charcoal. It was charcoal. And they're literally sitting right around the stove. Because if you know the red brick house, I got the whole thing. They sitting there. So I'm like, take out the lasagna. Don't let that shit burn. And did you turn off the oven? Okay. All right. Make sure they turn off the oven, too. All right. Now that we got the eating detail done, and I'm not nervous eating Philly 500, I got an interesting theory here. Jerry Jones has literally been all over the map. Just hear me out here. Good deal. Keep it going. Just hear me out. Jerry Jones has gone in and he's basically just said, hey, you were going all in, right? We've heard that side of it. Then we heard the side of, we're not extending anybody because, I'm mad about Green Bay. We've seen him going through all kinds of stuff. We heard him say, you know what? There's nobody better at doing this job at GM than me, and so on. And then you saw CeeDee Lamb's deal get done and everything else. That Jerry has been like all over the place, kind of like a crazy man. And then I read this article about Stephen Jones, who's been saying that, it's been a pleasure working with my father every minute of the, all the years, because they've been working since they bought the place. He was 31 years old when they won the last Super Bowl. And when asked, Lorenzo, shout out to Lorenzo with the super chat there. Lorenzo. Shout out to Lorenzo. Okay. In this past 2 weeks, you've heard Jerry go off about firing people, firing the guys on 105 and then doubling down about, that the whole tour thing, that's bullshit and everything else, and him going after the play calling, that nobody seems to check Jerry. And you heard, Jerry literally saying, I don't expect anybody who I pay to question me. So then you get Stephen Jones asked about him, at some point becoming the GM, taking over for his dad. And his response was, I've enjoyed every minute of the day. And he actually quoted Dak Prescott about Janet Rogers. What's up, Janet? Quoted Dak Prescott about enjoying the moment that, we none of us are going to live forever. None of us are going to live forever. And so he was talking about, enjoying the time that's there, and we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. And it sounded like things were going to be different when he's in charge. And then I started thinking, and this might be crazy, Chris May, shout out to Chris May. It's definitely Friday night. Shout out to Chris May. I started thinking, and I didn't want to think the worst, because I had heard rumors about Jerry was ill, I want to say 2018, 2019, and they started a succession plan then on how things were going to go. But I feel like, like when you have somebody like Jordan or you have somebody like Tom Brady, and at some point they start to slip, but you look at them and say, they've been great. They deserve to go out the way they want to go out. And I'm wondering if that's what we're witnessing now with Jerry Jones, because you don't hear anything contradictory to what Jerry Jones is saying right now. That, however Jerry wants to go and do it, if it blows up the team, if he spends all the money, we're going to let Jerry do Jerry, because he deserves it, because he's the one that had the forethought to buy a franchise that was losing $2 million a year, and he's turned it into a $10.5 billion organization worth $3 billion more than any other football team in the world. And let him run it and feel good about what he's doing, instead of me throwing him against the wall saying Deion Sanders is not it, or saying, Dad, go sit your old ass over in the corner. You're dimensional, got dementia and stuff. We're going to take care of this. That they're letting Jerry Jones just do whatever, and when it's done, then we'll go about the business. Because he said in that article that we have a succession plan and the fans are going to like it, or it's going to be what the fans deserve. And in my mind, I'm thinking that if it's what we want is, we don't want Stephen Jones. We don't want you running the organization. Jerry's been the owner, the president, and the GM. You know what, Stephen? You just be the owner. You just be the owner. And you actually get a GM. That's what I'm thinking is going on. Kansas City keeps winning, and they will surpass Dallas. Vinny, the thing that's funny is Dak Prescott. Let me be clear here. I know we got did I miss Rhonda? Did I not do Rhonda? Rhonda was in. Oh, help me, Rhonda. Rhonda. Where's Rhonda? Yeah, that's my knife. That's what I'm saying, Mark. Allen Williams. That maybe this is just like, look, Jerry Jones has been instrumental to bringing the Cowboys. Dustin, why would Troy Aikman decide to be GM of the Cowboys when he can make all the money in the world and not everybody hate him and criticize everybody else without having to do all the work? That's a knife from Rhonda. But I'm going to say there's some of you in here that are becoming YouTubers and are doing doing this. I know Rhonda's got her channel, and I think she's just crossed 1,000 videos. Shout out to her. I know there was another guy in here who was thinking about doing a YouTube channel. One thing that you have to understand is it doesn't matter what you say, that there's always going to be somebody that's out there as a keyboard warrior that's going to tell you you're an idiot, you're stupid, and you're wrong. Because it's easy to do that from the other side, because nobody knows who you are. I mean, I have met Philly D. I have seen Chris May and stuff, but Dustin Bosley, although he's a channel member, so we do have his address. Thomas Garrett I did meet, though, at a tailgate. Okay, so I can say that. But for the most part, Selena Harris, welcome, Selena. For the most part, I have no idea who you are, where you are, or anything, or your background. And so it's easy to say, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, and you eat too much on channel, and your hair's nappy, and the Cowboys suck, and Dak Prescott is just a turnover machine. You get a lot of that. Trust me, if you're going to ever decide I'm going to do YouTube, get used to it, because you will get a lot of hate. You'll get told that you're a freaking idiot and things. And I had a reason why I was bringing all this up, but now I forgot, because I'm getting old and probably getting dementia, where I just kind of meander. I do the weave. I weave, and eventually I come back. And Thomas Garrett has a channel. So, you get a whole bunch of flack and stuff and told that you're an idiot. But I feel like that's what's actually going on with Jerry right now is, you know what, out of respect, Jerry, just do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do, bro. You're the one that built this thing. You're the one who was smart enough to get Jimmy Johnson. You got 3 Super Bowl rings. You're in the World Football Hall of Fame. You'd have made enough money that our great grandkids will never run out of it. You do you, bro. You do you. You're not getting fired. You're going to be what you're going to be. And so that's where you look at it and say, maybe this is what's going on. That Jerry Jones was mad because we didn't win at Green Bay and said, screw them. I'm not spending any more money on anything else. I'm going to fire everybody. And of course, I'm too cheap that I don't want to let Mike McCarthy go out and I have to pay him for not being here. So he's going to stick out this year and suffer, and I'm going to screw him before he gets his next job. It's like, okay, Jerry, if that's what you want to do, man, you the man. And eventually, after all this stuff goes through and then Jerry's gone, then maybe the Cowboys will get back to running an organization like it should actually be done. Unfortunately, in the meantime, we're suffering. Kid Cowboy in the house. Ghostface Gaming. How many picks will Dak toss versus 49ers? Laugh out loud. I was saying, I'm a Dak Prescott fan. I love my Dak Prescott, okay? I think for everybody who's been out there, you got CeeDee Lamb, who is the second highest non-quarterback in compensation, right? You notice how they say when you're Dak Prescott, are we out?
Yep, this is the last one.
Oh, we better go get some more, because there's 3 women in the house. Shh. There's none downstairs? Tell Trey, she's slipping. Okay, sorry. I've got 3 ladies in the house here and stuff, so they friends, how many of us have them? Friends, ones you can depend on. Okay. Anyway, as much as y'all hate Dak Prescott, who else has owned up to anything with the Cowboys? CeeDee Lamb, who is the second highest player. Mark, I will double check my send email address. Still haven't got my first shot glass. Dustin, email me tonight, right now, CowboysMark94. I will forward it to Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction Gig Economy, because he's packing up stuff and sending stuff right now. Okay? There was a little confusion from when we used to have the other site with all the information to now with the new site and stuff. So we're trying to get all that stuff sorted out. But Dustin, send it to me tonight. I will forward it to Michael so he'll get it out tomorrow. And also, too, if you guys see Aisha Robinson, I can't find her address either to send her shot glass and squeeze football. But Dak Prescott, he's the only one who said, I'm playing average. I got to do better. I've got to be elite for us to win. I ain't heard CD saying, I got to do better. I've heard CD say, yeah, it is a distraction when people come in here and they watch us. You mean the thing that gets you paid? Because don't we watch you on all the interviews? Don't we watch you on Sunday? You're telling me that when you are literally working out that, oh my God, you can't watch me working out. You're screwing up my game. Seriously? I ain't heard him say, you know what, I gotta be a playmaker. I'm getting paid $34 million a year, and I have to step up my game so that way, Jalen Tolbert will get more play. You know, I got to make sure I run the best routes. I ain't heard that. I ain't heard the coach. Well, I've kind of heard Mike McCarthy, although he said it's not the play calling, but we're going to change up some things in practice. I ain't heard him say, you know what, my play calling hasn't been good. We're going to go ahead and do better. I ain't heard too many people owning their shit. I ain't heard Mozzie saying, you know what, I got to get a pressure because I'm the only defensive lineman with 50-plus plays that hasn't gotten a pressure. I ain't heard that from him. I ain't heard anybody. I haven't heard Dick saying, you know, I'm coming back from an ACL, but, you know, I got to be better and not losing receivers. I ain't heard him say that. I ain't heard Jerry Jones say, you know what, we had a plan. We thought it was going to be good, you know, and we ended up messing up on getting Derrick Henry. You know, we didn't want to spend the money. We thought he was spent, and we didn't see him as viable, and we should have researched it, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and say, what can we do now to try and help the team? The only person I've heard that has taken ownership of the Cowboys actually losing is the guy that everybody crucifies, that everybody literally blames. Because as we started here, you know, somebody had said, well, when you make that kind of money, you're supposed to score. Ain't nobody talked about everybody else. Ain't nobody talked about receivers not getting over. Ain't nobody talked about running backs that can't run. Ain't nobody talking about the defensive line who can't stop run. Ain't nobody talking about the play call. Ain't nobody talking about the lack of having guys on the field. Ain't nobody talking about players getting injured. They only talk about one guy, and he's the only one who stand up and says, I've got to be better, and I will be better. And that at least is a grown-ass man. And he at least deserves the respect for manning up and owning the bullshit. He at least deserves the respect of saying, I've got to do better. I ain't heard nobody else say that shit. And Lord knows, Micah Parsons has a podcast where he can say that shit. Instead, he's up there yucking it up with the enemy and everything else and laughing about getting blown out by the Lions. So if you want to say that this fish stinks, it stinks from the head all the way down. In the meantime, here's the thing. Crazy Corvette, what's up? Curtis Bond. Curtis, shout out to you. I appreciate the text message there, you know, wishing me a good Friday. Sorry, I didn't see it till this evening. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, working on this roof and trying to get everything squared away with the ladies that are here at the house and getting lasagna cooked and things and getting ready for the weekend and everything else. And Monday, getting ready for the city is going to thank us for saving the red brick house, and I have a bunch of the historic bricks that are being delivered. So I've been going in all kinds of different directions, and of course the Cowboys are playing with your emotions like crazy. So forgive me. Micah Parsons podcast, Fraternizing with the Enemy, Big Play Slay, among others, shaking my head. Dirty Sanchez, we hope that you still have, you know, your family jewels there. I know you were talking yesterday that your wife scares you when you screw up. Or maybe when you screw down. I don't know. Maybe when you screw sideways. I don't know. Maybe it's just when you screw. I don't know. But, yeah, I hope that your family jewels are still intact. We need excitement with this offense. Well, here's my hope. I don't mean to kill the Cowboys all the time. Because last night when I got the bets from my dad, you know, I was like, shit, you know, Minnesota's been playing, you know, it's been playing like crazy. So shit, the Rams, they've been terrible. You know, they're literally imploding, and they're looking at selling the hardware. You know, Cooper Kupp's on the trade block and everything else. That they're definitely in a sell mode, and you expected Minnesota to win last night. And when the game first started, all of a sudden, boom, they go down and score 7-0. Boom, they scored again, 14-0. You're like, damn, this thing is over. And then the Rams got to gear. So I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe Minnesota isn't as good as we thought they were. Maybe Atlanta, you know, started out kind of hot. They kind of cooled down, right? See, now Minnesota's lost 2 in a row. They lost now to the Rams, which you didn't think was a good team, and they lost to Green Bay. how do I feel about play calling? Kiana Gibson. I think here's the thing I think about the Cowboys. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a multitude. I think it's literally been the perfect storm of creating mediocrity. The Cowboys let go a bunch of starters and didn't replace them with veterans. We had more young people starting. And here's the thing. Even though Mozzie's in the second year, even though Overshone's in their second year, you might as well look at them as rookies because Mozzie didn't have a start before this year. Overshone didn't play at all last year, so he's truly like a rookie. And then when you start putting in guys like, Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton, in starting roles, and then you bring in Eric Kendricks, who does have experience in there, and you bring in another defensive coordinator, and you didn't get yourself any other ringers, and you've got players like Micah Parsons that people have said, okay, let's figure out how to stop him because they don't have somebody else that's viable. That's hurt the defense. When we said, Mozzie, you're a first-round pick, we're going to put all our eggs in your basket, and you got to be a stud. Well, that was a mistake they made. They should have gone out there and got some pieces. When the Cowboys decided, Zeke Elliott's going to be good enough, and we're going to take Rico, and Rico's going to be good enough. That's a mistake that goes on the Cowboys. When they decided not to get CeeDee Lamb done, and you got to look at CeeDee contract and say, what was the benefit for us waiting to get CeeDee done? We didn't save any money. We didn't get any better terms. If anything, it cost us more money. And it cost him there in training camp working out with Dak. So you got the problem of Dak and CD not having worked out and CD really still getting in shape. Okay, you got that. You've got the running game that's not on point because we didn't go out and get another running back. Okay, so that's another problem. You've got two rookies on the offensive line that are starting that are just getting into their groove. So you've got that. So you have all of these things, and then you get a rash of injuries that the veterans that you had, you're losing a guy like Brandon Cooks. And so you now have to take these new pieces, this inexperience, and when you have people who haven't been there, you have to dumb it down. You can't go in there with the rookies, and new wide receivers. You might as well say Jalen Tolbert, who's got 560-some yards in his career, that he's a veteran. He's not. It's like he's a rookie. So when you have all these new young guys, you can't go ahead and be really, really complex. You've got to work up to it, which is part of the reason why I think the play calling has been a little bit more vanilla, because they're still feeling their way. My hope is this is similar to what happened last year when we looked at it and said, oh, my God, we screwed the pooch by getting rid of Kellen Moore. Can we bring back Kellen Moore? Because it wasn't working. CeeDee Lamb was under 53 yards a game there till about week 6 or so. But then they started to click after the bye week when they had a chance to start really catching their breath and figuring things out. That's my hope. And I'm hoping that maybe getting Dalvin Cook, that maybe he becomes, and I know this is crazy. I know this is crazy to think this, but he didn't get a lot of miles put on him last year. He's had time to get in shape with the Cowboys and learn the system, that maybe we get a little burst out of him. It couldn't be any worse than what we had. And if we could get a little burst out of him, that could make Super Sports Ricky, again, I'm working on getting everything together. We're behind on that stuff, so give me a chance. You didn't email me last night again, because I've got the shirt here, so I've got to send it out. Cowboys will get dragged the next 4 games. Mike McCarthy will get fired, and Jerry Jones doesn't care. Dalvin Cook. Okay, keep laughing. But here's what I'm going to say. Because I'm the optimist here. The next 3 games, San Francisco, that's hurt. The Falcons, when you'll probably get Micah Parsons back, you'll probably get Brandon Cooks back, and you'll probably get Deron Bland back. So you get a boost. I think you got a good chance in that game. the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles and the Cowboys, we always split those games or we win both of them. And I think you can win that. If you win 2 of the next 3 games and you get to 5-4, you're actually in a pretty good position right now because you still have the Giants. You got the Washington Commanders 2 times. You got the Eagles again to make up some ground. Dak just needs to run the yard and try to wear down the Niners defense early. That's what Kyler Murray does. He always gets Niners defense tired early so he can hit the deep shots after they're tired. Might as well. Elena, shout out to Elena. That's a good one.
Yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.
Ghostface Gaming says you can't win championships with guys like Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott. Those mid-range quarterbacks don't win big, and they're not it. Well, I have to say, Ghostface Gaming, I hear what you're saying on that one, but let's take a look back at the last Super Bowl champions that have been there. You've had Pat Mahomes twice, and Pat Mahomes has not been Pat Mahomes like he was before. He's been Pat Mahomes that's a little bit more average, but his defense has been taking things over and helping him out. I'm just saying. You can call me a liar and things right now, but Pat Mahomes has more interceptions than Dak Prescott. Be that and less TDs. You've got Pat Mahomes has won the last 2. I believe Matthew Stafford won the one before that, and I believe Tom Brady won the one before that. But the thing is, when you look at Tampa Bay, when you look at the Rams and those teams, what did they do to try and help their team? They went out there and they got more players to make their team better. I have not seen that with the Cowboys. Okay? The Cowboys, you can say you can't win with Dak. Well, here's the reality. The Cowboys have been rebuilding since the 90s, bro. And it seems like, with the exception of 2006-07, where they went out and they got T.O. and they tried to trade for Roy Williams, and they made some moves there. Other than that, you can't honestly look at it and say the Cowboys have decided we're going all in and we're going to try and win a Super Bowl. The Eagles, when they won it, they went out and got themselves a running back in Jay Ajayi. They went out and they got players like Ndamukong Suh and things like that when they went to the last Super Bowl. They went out and got an A.J. Brown. What have you honestly looked at to say, legends are legend, mid-range? No, bro. Ghostface Gaming. I'm sorry. No, I can't go there with you. Are you going to tell me, are you going to honestly, let's switch the roles up. If you took away Emmitt Smith from the Dallas Cowboys and you inserted the running game that we have right now, is Troy Aikman winning 3 Super Bowls? Seriously. He's not. He is not. Even though you had Michael Irvin, you had an Alvin Harper over there. You had Jay Novacek, who was known as a security blanket. You had the best offensive line in football. Is Troy Aikman winning Super Bowls if you put this offensive line in front of him and that running game? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Is he winning Super Bowls if you put this running game, this offensive lineman, and that defense? Bro, no way. I don't want to hear that that Dak Prescott is the problem. Not when we've got the worst. Now, I'm not talking about bad. We have the worst running game. Not mid. Not suspect. The worst, people. The worst. The fact that we've won 3 games where we literally are looking up at all these teams that run the ball worse than us, the Jets, the Jacksonville Jaguars, all of these teams that are all like 1 and 2 win teams, it's amazing that we've won 3 freaking games. There's no chance. Are you telling me if you get rid of that offensive line that the Cowboys had for Roger Staubach and you give them these guys, you're going to win the Super Bowl? That you're going to take a washed Zeke Elliott and a Rico instead of Tony Dorsett? Come on, man. This is where y'all just sit here and look and say, oh, the quarterback just sucks. The whole team sucks, people. The whole team. Now, maybe maybe, just maybe, if you put Dak Prescott on San Francisco, maybe they don't win the Super Bowl. I don't know. But I'd like to see that situation, to see that kind of talent around him. Joseph Heatherly, shout out to Joseph Heatherly. We ain't winning any games this year with these problems. That's what I'm saying. Dak had Amari, CD, Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz isn't a premier tight end, bro. And Gallup had one good year, bro. One good year. One good year. The last 2 years that after they signed him to that fat-ass contract, Gallup was ass. He wasn't even average the last 2 years he was here. And Zeke Elliott, after he got his contract, he was going way downhill. Zeke Elliott has not been an elite back since like 2019. And when when Amari got here, CD and him were only there 1 year together. And at that point, Zeke was done, and the defense wasn't quite there. You literally had San Francisco last year with one of the best defenses in football. They had playmakers throughout that whole team. You look at San Francisco with the wide receiver core, the tight end, the offensive line, the running back, and all those weapons, and that wasn't enough for those guys to win. And you're sitting here telling me that with all of the shit that we had, the problems, because we ain't had a Great Wall of Dallas. The last time we had a great offensive line was 2016, because in 2017 was when Tyron Smith started breaking down, and we had guys like Chaz Green going in. In 2018 is when Travis Frederick got Hillian-Barr syndrome, and Jason Witten, of course, was gone to the Raiders and really just a shell of himself. We have not had great tight end play throughout the time that Dak Prescott's been here. I guess you could say last year and Dalton Schultz, those 2 seasons with about 800, 700 yards each were the best 2 years of having tight end. He ain't had anywhere near like an elite tight end, like a Kittle, like a Kelsey, like any of those guys. And those things are important. And you have not had a lights-out defense. You had a good defense. You've had one-dimensional defenses that are good at playing with leads. But when it comes to stopping the run, the Cowboys have not had a team that can stop the run. Now, you could call me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to change your opinion on Dak Prescott. Y'all have it set in your head that it's just the quarterback. Our quarterback just sucks. And his numbers are bad this year because the whole team sucks. But if you can't get time, if the guys can't get open, and you can't use play action because you can't run the football, I don't know how you're going to succeed. And that's where you're wrong. Oh, hold on, bro. Hold up. Wait. See, this is what I love. NFL QB stats. Let's go to the tape here real quick. NFL stats. Now, Dak admits that he's been average this year, right? And we can't disagree with that. Passing. So if we talk about interceptions, here's the thing that's amazing. Jordan Love leads the NFL with Pat Mahomes and Gardner Minshew with 8 interceptions. Do you know how many TD passes Pat Mahomes has this year, bro? As you go through, Pat Mahomes on a different level. He's so much greater. You know, Pat Mahomes has 6 TDs to 8 interceptions this year. Is that elite play, bro? I'm asking for a friend. Is that elite play? Now, I'm going to say that Dak ain't exactly lighting up the world, but Dak's got at least 8 TDs and only 6 interceptions. I'm not saying that that's great, but if you're saying that sucks, then what is Pat Mahomes? What is Pat Mahomes with 6 TDs and 8 interceptions? You know what the difference is on that? Pat Mahomes can throw an interception on his side of the field, and his defense can stop him. His defense can get takeaways. I get it. But Pat Mahomes didn't do that on his own. Are you telling me that without that he would have won that Super Bowl last year without that defense? Are we saying that? Seriously, you're telling me that Pat Mahomes that's all they need is Pat Mahomes. Dallas said the 49ers had 19 points and Dak still shit the bed and scored 12 points. Yep, that's one game. That's true. I'll give you that one. But you also had You had a chance to win that game if your Randy Gregory doesn't end up tackling an offensive lineman, giving him 15 yards, a new set of downs, and they kill another 2.5 minutes on the clock. It's a team game, people. Team game. And you need everybody to click. Yes, James, that's what we were talking about, that Dalvin was going to be cooking this weekend. So we'll finally get a chance to see, and hopefully it's releasing the Kraken and gets us something. Dirty Sanchez, a good one. What did we get from Dirty Sanchez? ESPN extra small. Oh, man, extra small penis network. Damn. Wow. Okay. Why we got to keep talking about people's junk? I don't understand that, man. Why we got to be talking about people's junk? Super Sports Ricky, you don't sign a quarterback to a contract if you're not going to make any moves to win, and I like Dak. You do, but see, Super Sport, we're actually out of time here, but here's what I'm going to say. Here's what you, if you're talking about winning, yes. But see, here's the thing. Jerry Jones is the kind of guy who literally said, I'm glad ESPN is talking about the comments about the fans on the tours, because that's advertising and getting more tours. So it's like, wait a minute, wait. Instead of saying, is this actually a distraction? That maybe this is helping, whether you believe it's legitimate or not, you would think, let me look into this and see. Is this something we're doing for the $10 million you get a year for tours? That's a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the bucket in comparison to if you were like NFC champions selling that merch, or if you were Super Bowl champions. I would think that you would be getting a lot more money for that. But be that as it may, the fact that your owner is more excited about the controversy being advertised lets you know that Dak Prescott is the gift that keeps on giving. Whether the Cowboys win or lose, what ESPN talks about? What is it that they always talk about? Dak Prescott, he's overpaid. When you are Dak Prescott and you've got the richest contract in football, it doesn't matter that they're trashing the organization. It's bringing more views and conversation, and it's bringing more revenue to Jerry. And at this point, that's all he cares about. So if you sign Dak, the stadium's still full. As Stephen Jones said, we've had more renewals this year than ever before. It's not that losing is keeping you from being talked about, because every show, even in the bye week, is what's going on. The owner can literally talk to peons at a radio station and threaten to fire them, and they literally talk about it for 3 days. That's what it's about with Jerry Jones. He just wants people to talk about him. It's not about building the team. See, everybody else, every other organization actually has to win to get what the Cowboys have, just being what they are. In essence, that's how Jerry's winning. It's not what we want for winning, but in Jerry's mind, that's winning. So with that being said, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully I pissed off some more 49er fans. Let me see. Let me check and see if I've got any more. Nope, I don't see any more. Holly Pierce, I was on the live chat tonight, but my posts were disappearing, and apparently no one could see my post. Did I do something wrong? Thanks. Holly, I've been seeing you. I know I said Holly Pierce. Sometimes YouTube is funny. Funny. So, there. And Dustin, got you, Dustin. Okay, got you in here too. Definitely with you, 100% Cowboys Nation. Always. All right, so that's all I got for you guys tonight. We'll be doing our membership live stream tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then, of course, we'll be streaming all day long Saturday until the Cowboys are done. So, we got to get ready to get it going. All right, good people. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. And keep the faith.
It's just falling down because 500's going to net. So, you know, my ass can only take so much.
You're
Up that ass. Come on. Cock work.
up.
Yeah.
Kicking.
All right, let's get that ass. This can only take so much.
Fit.
Come on. Cock work. The Eagles are trying to.